let your hair get in the way. Can't be defined by your mistakes. You know you.
Hey guys,
it's Cheyenne.
I'm Ia.
Welcome back to our channel for another episode about growing and glowing.
We love to see it.
Yeah, this week we are doing a supporter picked topic. We posted on our Instagram. What was it, like a week ago?
Yeah, like a week ago.
Something like that. Anyway, yeah, we picked a supporter topic, and this week's topic is staying connected in your 20s. Shout out to Yannicka for that one.
Thanks, girl.
You want to start or me?
I mean, I can start. I mean, basically, we interpret staying connected in your 20s as just having a well balanced. What's the word?
Work-life balance.
Yeah, work
Yeah.
life, romance, your personal life, like literally everything. Just having flexibility with everything, like not focusing all your attention on one thing. I mean, we're young. Like, there's no reason to put your attention all on one aspect of your life. Like, this is definitely the time to be exploring like everything and learning how to balance everything and how they can all coexist with one another.
Yeah, I feel like especially when you're like thinking like we do and how our audience does in our 20s and older, it's like, all right, I have my entire life to work, so how am I gonna, live it up? And my motto is, fuck it, we ball.
Purr.
So that's how I keep my balance. It's, okay, I have responsibilities, but fuck it, we ball. Only because, like, I'm only going to be 21 once. Yeah. I'm only going to be 22 once. Like, you only get these years once in your life, and take advantage of the time where you don't have a husband to go home to, and you don't have, like, a mortgage payment because you can still live with your parents if you choose to. You don't have any kids. You can just get up and leave whenever you want. And I always say I'm selfish. Like, I'm going to take advantage of my 20s as much as I can because I know in about 12 years from now, it's probably going to be like, oh, can't come out. I have a 2-year-old at home. Like, that's our reality now.
Yeah.
Like,
no, my family keeps already pressing me about bringing a man home. I'm like, no.
Oh, my mom said, skip the man. I'm mad at you that you haven't made me a grandma yet. And I was like, man, we're going to be mad for the rest of your life because...
not that I'm like opposed to a relationship or anything. I'm definitely very like open to, having a man and be like my man for sure. But I'm not like pressed for it. Like, I'm definitely in like that era of my life where I'm just like living it up and just like trying to figure everything out. Because that's another thing. I think everyone feels like they need to have everything figured out.
Oh, trust me, I know. I thought I had everything figured out from like the age of 5. Like, it's bad. Like, I've always felt that I'm going to be very successful in life. How I'm going to get there changed over the years. Yeah. But it's always been, okay, graduate from college, and then I'm going to have a shit ton of money. Like, that's always just been my life. So once that, didn't happen because I was like, okay, I need to take a break from school. Like, this just isn't working right now. Or I was like, oh, let me get a regular job. Like, let me make an honest living and not fall into some people our age who's like, oh, OnlyFans or TikTok and all that. Like, I would love to be an influencer, but I know that's not going to be sustainable for, my kind of living that I want because the internet's so temporary. And when, COVID happened and all that stuff, and I was just like, damn, I have no idea what's happening in the world. I don't know what's happening in my life. I felt like a failure because I didn't have it all figured out. But now I'm just like, hell, I don't know what I'm going to eat for dinner tonight, but... fuck it, we won't.
See, I think for me, it's kind of the opposite because I feel like I've always had such a concrete plan of my life, up until, I graduated college. And then now that I'm done, I'm just like, shit, what do I do now?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I'm starting in my career and everything, but it's just like, oh my God, I really don't know what's going to happen, tomorrow. Yeah. I'm really in my, adulthood era and, it's scary. And, it's really
very scary. That's why I told you, a week ago, bruh, this could be the last summer that all of us, all of our friends are single. And we should probably take advantage of it because we really don't know. Anything can happen. Especially with 2 of them being in serious relationships. Me and you are just kind of hey, it is what it is. We're the 2 kind of people we thought we would be.
Yeah.
We're the complete opposite of that, but I feel like we enjoy this way a lot more.
Dude, I think I've definitely been learning a lot about myself.
Yeah.
like I feel like once I hit 20, it's like I
once you
learned
hit
so
your 20s.
much about myself. Like, and things like, you know, I thought I wanted, I don't want anymore. Things I thought I didn't want, I'm like, okay, this wouldn't be too bad.
This wouldn't be horrible.
This would be horrible. Or like, you know, my relationships with people. I mean, like everything has just been changing like so like rapidly. And I mean, like I said, like it's scary, but I'm also like learning to embrace it. And
I honestly didn't think like where I am right now is where I would be at almost 22. I was like very like shocked when I sat and really like reflected on like, damn, I really have like a nice ass apartment by myself. I have my own car. Like, I'm a college educated woman. I am not in a horrible relationship. Like, I don't have any kids that I like, oh, I wish I had you guys later. Like, I really like, we're in like the optimal place for 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of, college happened, is happening. You don't have a man. Like, you don't really have a lot of responsibilities, but you do because you're an adult.
Yeah.
See, what to do now?
Right now, it's. I think the stress that I have right now is really like saving up my money.
Yeah.
Like not that I didn't save before, but now that, you know, I'm working full time and like really in my career, I'm just like, shit, I actually gotta start budgeting.
Now it's really like I have no reason not to budget.
That's what I'm saying. Like I have no reason to. Oh, I'm a broke college student. My mom will be like, you are a full time working woman. Why are you broke?
But you go to work every single day. You have a 9 to 5. Why don't you have any money? Like that. Well, you see, I went to Aruba and then I go to SF a lot.
Those tolls be added up.
Yeah, going to SAC. Yeah, they're taking all my money. So and ever since I like started living alone, like when I went to college, I was like, okay, I probably should figure out how to save money because I never really thought about that as like a teenager.
You know, and it's so crazy because my senior year of high school, we did a 5-year plan for my AP government class, and that shit is not going out.
You look at that, none of this is
I was like, yeah, you know, I have my, you know, my nice little apartment, and like, you know, I mean, I have everything figured out. I'm just like, bro, like, I breathe like $100.
For real. I walk out my door every morning and I'm like, damn, I spent $150 walking down my stairs. What did I do? Like, what did I spend my money on? But yeah, I think the 5-year plan that I made right before I graduated high school is not accurate, like at all. But I think it also has a lot to do with COVID. Like, I don't count 2 of those years that happened. So to me, I feel like, yes, I am about to be 22, but it really is like we're about to turn 20 because now we're getting the summer that we wanted when we got into our 20s. And like, now we're starting to experience all the things we thought we would have in college and shit we didn't because, you know, the world wanted to fuck around and get sick. So
I think also too, like I'm really starting to realize like, you know, everything is, especially us, like in our relationship with people, for example, like that shit's gonna change too. Like, you know, people are gonna be getting married. People are gonna be having kids. Like, I won't be able to just always like hit you guys up and be like, y'all want to go to Dutch Bros?
Yeah, like, let's go drive 30 minutes away from us for no reason.
Yeah, I literally have a newborn. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just gave birth 5.5 weeks ago. I can't even walk to the toilet by myself.
I'm like, okay, bring the baby with you.
Okay, we can hobble to the bar. I'll try.
But I think that's another like a harsh reality that I'm starting to realize. Like, damn, like I'm not that like, you know, I won't have these relationships anymore. But it's just that the dynamics are obviously gonna change.
We're not gonna be as accessible to each other anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be a hey, let's go do this random spontaneous thing and not think about any of the consequences because pretty soon it's gonna be like, oh no, I have a kid to worry about, or can't I have to work? Like we're working full time, or I have this project I need to do for work. I need to get this done. There's so much stuff. Or like when you get married, you're gonna want to go on your honeymoon or be with your husband all the time.
My
Literally, like,
let me ask my husband.
Literally, oh, I can't. Let me ask my husband. Or, you know, I've been wanting to do that, but let me ask my husband. Or if we're trying to plan a trip, let me convince my husband he wants to go first. Like, that's what our lives are gonna be soon. And I feel like, yeah, it is a harsh reality you have to face, especially because it still feels like we're so young.
Yeah.
Like, we're only in our early 20s.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I think, like, looking back when I was a teenager, I'm like, oh yeah, when I'm in my 20s, now I'm like, oh my god, I'm in my 20s.
Or it'd be like, oh my god, I can't wait till I turn 21. And I'm like, dang, 25 is around the corner.
I turned 23 this year.
Yeah, I turned 22 in a couple months.
Sick.
Like, this summer is the last of me being a 21-year-old. That's wild. I mean, we're ending it with the Bay, but
I hope we end it with the Bay.
We are manifesting it now. That trip in Aruba is going to be iconic.
It's funny because I feel like this is a time for you to be like literally going wild and like having fun.
Like the stories we're talking about right now are the stuff I want to be happening.
Yeah.
I want to tell my kids, like, hey, yes, I graduated from college. Yes, I saved up money. Yes, we live in this nice big house because I worked hard.
Yeah.
But all of this still happened in my 20s while I was doing that.
It's so funny. I was talking to my parents like a couple weeks ago. I was like, you know what? Like, I really appreciate you guys just being like not like the typical African parents that like sheltered me my whole life. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, when I was like my preteens, like early teens, they were pretty strict. Like mostly my dad. But like once I like went to college and everything, it's like I can like do stupid shit, like get blackout drunk and like come home and like they're gonna lecture me on it, of course, but like obviously they're gonna be like laughing at me because like dang, like I remember when I was like that too.
Yeah, I used to think my mom was super strict until I got to college, and then I realized so many people in my dorm room don't know how to wash their ass properly. They don't know how to wash their clothes. Like my mom, like the kind of parents that we had really set us up for life without like being like, no, you can't see anything. This is not the real world. Everything's perfect. It's like, no, shit happens sometimes, but here's how you figure it out. Here's how you get through it. And since my mom was so young when she had me, I really thought like, oh, okay, I really have to pay attention to all the things she's teaching me because she learned from her mistakes. Like she had a kid early, but she's still a nurse. Like she's doing what she wants to do with her life. She owns her own house. She was married for 10 years. Like she clearly did something right. So I'm gonna follow that to the best of my ability. And where she dropped off is where I picked up. So I didn't have a kid in high school, so I'm experiencing the college things that she didn't. But like, she still had me figured out because she had the real world, all that fun stuff of being a mother.
When I asked my parents about like the stuff they got into when they were my age, they have been shocking me. I'm like, you did what? I'm like, Dad, the person who never let me out the house. That's how you were acting.
Now I'm like, why am I calling you when you're in Vegas? You're not grown. Like I always joke with her and tell her I feel like I'm a single daughter raising my mother. Because why do you think you're grown? No, you're not wearing that outside the house. You need to tell me where you're going. One time I had to find out from my grandma she was in Vegas.
I track my mom's location more than she tracks
mine. My mom has an Android, so I can't even track her, but she got an iPad.
I'll be like, where are you? She's like, are you tracking me? I'm like, yeah. So where are you?
Like, or when she doesn't answer the phone, I'm like, what else are you doing besides being my mother? Like, please go home. Like, be at home and answer my call when I need you. But then I'm just like, our moms are like us when we're gonna be that age. Like, okay, I got kids and what? I'm still living my life. Like, I'm still out doing my thing.
That's what you should realize. Like, I'm always gonna need my mommy, no matter how old I get.
Oh, I still call my mom mommy to this day. And if I don't, she's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. Sometimes I'm older now.
Like if I'm having a bad day, I call my mom. And if I have tea, I call my mom. If I talk shit, my mom is like my best friend. Like, when you're younger, I'm not one of your little friends. Now that girl and I are like this, like
my mom always said, oh, I'm not one of your little friends. Look at you now. One of my little friends. We're like this. We go together real bad. Like, so bad that if I go home, she's like, oh, you want to sleep in my bed? We kind of look like, when I was little, kind of sleepover. Of course, we're going to drink wine together and spill the tea. Did you see what so-and-so posted on Facebook? Like, yes, now you're one of my little friends. But, like, I want that with my kid when they become an adult. Like, I want to go from being their mother to, like, I'm still your mom, but we're, like, best friends. Because who else am I going to call? And I'm like, oh, Mom, this guy broke my heart. Or, hey, I'm really drunk right now and I don't know how to fix it. Like, please make it stop. I feel like my mom would know how to make the room stop spinning. Yeah, she would. She's my mom. She always knows. What else do we need to talk about? For real, balancing like work, school, and social, there are going to be some days where you're just like, I'm so fucking tired. I don't want to do anything, but I gotta go to work. But on those days when I wake up feeling tired, I'm just like, all right, I don't have anything to do after work. Usually, like, me and you will plan something very, like, spontaneous, or I'll go do something else. When I feel really tired, I'm just like, no, I'm going to take the time to myself. And that's when I just kind of lay in bed all day, because I don't really get those, like, times to just kind of be lazy anymore. So when I know I'm feeling tired, I take the time to rest. But most of the time, it's like, I have a set schedule for work. I'm off pretty early in the day. I feel like all of us are off pretty early in the day. So you get that out of the way in the morning. Whatever you want to do with like school-wise, you get that done that day. I try to keep school days, like specific days, because then that way it's easier. Like, oh, it's a Sunday, I can't go out. I always do homework this day. And then during the other days, you just kind of fuck it, we ball. If anybody brings up plans and you're down for it, go for it. Especially if you know, like, it's just work in the morning, I'm gonna be responsible, get home at a decent time, or this assignment's not due for another 4 days. Like, as long as you're responsible with it, then you can say fuck it, we ball. But if you got like negative $10 in your account, you got 10 overdue assignments, your boss is calling you because you keep calling out every other day, like, then that you can't say fuck it, we ball. You really got to sit down and get your priorities straight.
You know, people would always ask me, like, oh my God, like, yeah, like, how do you do it? You know, I had a job, I was in school, I still found a way to, like, you know, make time for my friends. Like, how do you do it? I'm like, I didn't. I literally just spiraled all the time. Like, they're literally, like,
you know, like, work,
like, if I could give you the formula for how I did it, I would. But I literally, like, I don't know. I was spiraling. Like,
I'm telling you, the mentality is really fuck it, we ball, because there's nothing else you can do besides spiral and be like, well, I'm already spiraling. Might as well just say yes to this fun memory. Like,
and then asking for help too. I mean, there are times like I'd go to work and I'd just be like dwelling on the fact, like, you know, I have like all these assignments. I'm like, bro, like if I don't start this paper like in the next like 2 hours, like I'm not gonna get it done. So finding a job that's very accommodating. That's why like I was really grateful for my old job, because you know they really always emphasize, like, you know, school comes first. Like, work will always be here. Like, obviously, you need to be a responsible adult and, like, communicate, you know, but what you need and stuff. But at the same time, it was like, hey, if you need to leave early to go type this essay, we're going to do that for you.
My job's like that, too, and I like it. Like, my managers are like, if you communicate to us what you need, we're going to do our best to accommodate you. And 10 times out of 10, it's always like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. We'll find someone else to cover you, or I'll cover you. It's never like, no, you gotta stay here and work because you signed up for it. Also, just being straightforward with people when you know, like, it's a situation where you could potentially need help, like school, work, even like your friendships, like being upfront and being like, hey, I'm a student, so I can't be working these long hours, or here's my schedule, but there are going to be some times in the next month or so where I might need to leave early to do homework, or like with some friends, hey, I would love to go out with you guys all the time, but I need to do homework. So unless you guys want to help me get my grades up or keep them up, then we can't be hanging out all the time. Yeah. And as long as you're like upfront with people, it's pretty easy to keep that balance going because you're just communicating what you need, and people tend to accommodate you when you're nice to them.
Yeah, and literally I think it was my sophomore year of college, I literally had this one class, I was down bad. That semester, it was bad.
That was like the worst year of college for me.
Depression was so bad, like, bro. Oh my God, I feel like war flashbacks just thinking about it.
For real, because that's when we lived together. We were really just in my room.
Yeah, like, I remember just like being like, communicating with professor. I'm just like, I just can't get this assignment done. Yeah. Like, can I please have an extension? She was like, of course, like, thank you for communicating with me. Like, if you need more time than what she already asked me, just let me know. But like, that's a part of being an adult. Like, you need to be straight up and tell people what you need, because no one's gonna read your mind.
And 9 times out of 10, they understand it. They get it. Oh, I remember when I was stressed, because it probably happened to them within the last 7 days, and either somebody accommodated them or they didn't. And if they didn't get accommodated, they're gonna make sure they accommodate whoever's asking them. Like, for me, during junior year of college is when my professors were really helpful, because I was like, hey, my dad just died literally 2 weeks before school started. So I'm not going to be here for the first month, but I still want to be responsible and take my education in my own hands. So I was still going to my classes every week. Even though I was logging off and crying, I was still doing my homework. But I asked for help, and they were like, whatever you need. Like, I don't usually send out the slide. You know how they are with the slides. They act like it's the fucking Constitution, and nobody can touch the shit. Anyway, they'll be like, oh yeah, like, here's a slide. I don't usually send them out, but as long as, like, just send me. None of them asked for a death certificate either. Like, they all took my word on it, and one of them was like, my dad died when I was your age in college, so I understand. He ended up giving me an A in that class when I didn't do half the work because I was gone for so long. But he was like, no, I get it. Like, you asked for help and you did what you could, so I'm gonna give you the credit because you put the effort in. And I was like, shout out to you, because I did not want to take AFAM 2 again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like as long as you ask for help, it tends to be okay.
Yeah, because I mean, in our 20s, like, no one's gonna hold your hand anymore. Like, this is really the time, like,
as much as we want them to.
Yeah, as much as we want them to. Trust me, I'll tell my mom you holding my hand through everything, but this is a time where you really have to like start like growing up, but also like like growing up and also finding that balance. Okay, if I mess up, like it's my responsibility to figure out how to fix it.
And some people don't want to grow up. Like me as a kid, I hated promoting to middle school or going to high school because I'm like, what? No, I'm still a child. You're not about to make me be an adult.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because my mom showed me like, here's the real world. You still are a child, and I was treated as a child, but I saw things for what they were. Like I wasn't sheltered a ton. I was away from like violence and all that stuff. But like, hey, some people are homeless because they're not responsible and they lose their jobs, or some people go on drugs and like. I was exposed, like I was aware of stuff like that, so I never really needed someone to hold my hand because I never wanted to grow up. I was just like, no, I want to be a kid forever. We're not doing this. But as I've gone into my 20s, I'm just like, Mom, hold my hand, please. I don't know what the fuck to do. Even if it's something simple, like when I missed my flight when I went to Florida in February, the first thing I did was call my mom. And I was like, how do I fix this ASAP? And I was like having a panic attack and crying, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do when I can't talk to my mom anymore? Or like when I'm in my 30s and my mom's gonna be like, girl, you're 35, you could figure it out. Like I'm gonna have to be helping somebody else at that point figure things out because I'm gonna be their go-to. And I'm just like, damn. But I feel like it's all so far away, but it's so fast.
Yeah, I'm not. Life is like
It's speeding.
It's
by.
speeding by.
Like every time I think of something, every time I go to the doctor, oh, are you trying to get pregnant?
Bro.
Yes, because probably in the next 5 years, I
literally,
might.
like when I went to my post-op appointment after surgery, she was like, "Are you planning on having like kids like in the near future?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, yes. Like, I mean,
Like, unfortunately,
like actually, like
maybe.
kinda.
I guess.
Like, bro, like literally, like in like the next 5 years or so, that I could be like this.
Honestly, if I was like that right now, no one would say anything because it's socially acceptable. I'm about to be 22. Like, it's okay.
It's wild, like getting asked questions like that. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, wait.
Especially when it's like in the near future and you're like, how soon is near future? And they're like 5 years. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
I guess. But then it's like, I've always thought like I would have kids hella late. Like first kid at like 28, 29.
You think that's late?
That's late for what I know.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Like, what I know is I should have been having a kid right now.
Yeah.
And, like, there's nothing wrong with having a kid this age. I personally just don't want to be changing diapers in my 20s. I want to be shaking ass, not cleaning it. So, that's why I was like, I feel like 29 is, like, a good, like, because I feel I might have a hard time getting pregnant. So, 29, 30, that whole year is like, okay, if it doesn't work, then go the other route. And then that still works because by 32, I'm like, if it ain't here, it ain't ever coming. So if I got 1 kid, 2 kids, 7, 0, that's what it's gonna be by 32. But still, I'm 22, or I'm about to be 22. So in the next 10 years, 10 years from now, I will be done having kids. That's wild. Cause 10 years ago, I was in 6th grade. What the fuck?
That's wild to see.
10 years ago, we were in like 6th grade, and we had no clue about anything that was about to transpire in our lives.
Oh, trust me.
I was oblivious.
6th grade me would be like, you've done what?
No. 6th grade me would be like, you turned to know. You had a relationship with who?
You did what with who?
You snuck out the house. When? I've never snuck out the house, by the way.
You threw up after doing what?
But yeah, like 6th grade me would have been like, who are you? Because you were not me. Like they would have been disrespected, low key.
I feel like 6th grade me would be like so like shocked, but also be like, damn girl, like okay, I wouldn't expect this out of you. Like good job.
I always knew it was in me, but like I was always too scared to test the boundaries. I was that kid where it was like my mom said these are the rules, and that's why I don't do things.
We've been here. I was scared.
Yeah, like, but like it took you to meet me for you to be like, what's the worst that can happen? Because that's literally all I tell you. They're gonna say no, okay, and you move on to the next one. And that time they didn't say no, like. And I love to know that I was peacefully sleeping in the next room.
Stop.
I encourage all of this.
And next time.
No, that's all I'm saying after this. That's all I'm saying about this. I just like to know that I encouraged you to be more ballsy.
Yeah.
And I was in the next room sleeping when you decided to take that chance. Because the first time you did it, I was also next door to you because we lived together.
Wait, what are you talking about?
When you told him you liked him the first
Oh.
one, you were like, "Oh no."
Oh yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was mixing up my
But, like,
timelines.
I like that I'm the one who encourages you to
Yeah.
do that. Because, like, 6th grade, you probably were like, I do what in my 20s? No.
Yeah.
If they're not calling me, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's you. So the fact that you were like, I'm going to get the attention I want, like, it's not coming to me, I'm going to go get it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it worked out in your favor. It worked out very well in your favor.
Okay.
Anyways, next topic.
Next topic.
That's a whole different episode. I feel like we should have an episode just exposing our embarrassing stories without saying a single name. But like, not embarrassing to us, just embarrassing in general. Like, ew, you did that with him, or you did this with this person, you're friends with that person, like, those kind of things. Because that'd be very funny. Oh, balancing a relationship in life and school
That's all her.
on top of all of that is very fucking hard. Not gonna lie. But I would say if you feel like, oh, I'm like, if you even have a lick of I might be better off by myself, go do it. Because if you have even just a little bit of doubt, like, I'm not saying doubt is bad, but especially at our age, we don't have to be committed to somebody. So if you feel like I could be better by myself, go be by yourself. Because if that person truly loves you, 9 times out of 10, if you feel like that, they probably feel like that and they're not saying anything and they don't want to be the one to break your heart, break theirs. It's okay. Like, sometimes you have to be selfish and break the other person's heart.
Yeah, because there's also people who've been together since like high school, and it's like, you know, sometimes it works out, but then also between high school and now, you guys are two completely different people. So you can't beat your, if it doesn't work out, you can't beat yourself up because
just
like
between now and senior year of high school.
Between now and an hour ago, I'm a different person.
Hell, me and last week are 7 different people, and you don't even want to get into those. Like, yeah, I feel like we're such different people, but you know, you've seen firsthand, you can get together your freshman year of high school and it works out so well. But then it could be like, oh, we don't really talk to each other, get together freshman year of college, it didn't work. Like, I feel like there's so many ways to approach it, but fact of the matter is, if you feel like, at our age at least, hey, maybe I kind of want to discover myself first because I truly love this person, but I know nothing else besides this person, so how do I really know? Then go take that time. Communicate that with them, though. Don't just break up with them out of nowhere.
Communication is key. At our big ancient
communication
age,
is the only key you need.
Like, you worry about the apartment key, worry about the car keys later. Communication is the key that you
Some
need.
of them don't even worry about the car key because they're still walking everywhere. You need to worry about communication. That's the most important. That'll get you everywhere in life.
Like, at our big age, if you can't communicate, I don't know what to tell you. I really
For
don't.
real. Like, if you can't even be like, hey, I'm not good with words, so I'm going to try to express how I feel, but it might not make sense to you. 10 times out of 10, the person's going to be like, just spill. I'll try to piece it together. And then they'll ask you, so did you mean this? And usually it's like, okay, that's exactly what I meant. And you'll realize, okay, I can't put what I feel into words. It might not sound like, oh, I'm college educated, but no one's educated in emotions unless you grew up like that. You have to learn them if you're not emotionally intelligent from like birth. Like, and no, emotional intelligence isn't like something you just know how to do. It is taught.
It's taught.
It's encouraged. And if you don't have that, then you can't be like, oh, I just don't communicate. Like, that's just not me. Or that's simp shit.
Yeah.
Simp shit is when you treat your girl like she's nothing and then be mad when she goes to find someone else.
I have to owe it to my mom I feel like my mom and you for making me like more, well, okay, relax.
Get out of my house. You're not going to keep treating me this way.
I owe it to y'all for making me like more balls and like communicating like what's on my mind, because ever since I was little, because like I would get like picked on like a little bit when I was younger, like preschool, like a little bit of elementary school.
I'll find those kids.
Well, my mama handled them, but that's a different conversation.
I know Mama Dodo, but I'm handling it.
But she would tell me constantly ever since I was like 4 years old, like if someone's making you feel a certain way, you need to tell them. Like, they're not gonna know, like they could, your facial expressions are only to tell people so much. Like, you need to tell them, like, hey, this doesn't make me feel good, or hey, this does make me feel good. Can you do this? Like,
see, we had the complete opposite effect on each other because I made you more ballsy, and you and my mom, as I've gotten older, has taught me to be nicer to people. I've always been told my entire life, like, sometimes you need to sugarcoat things, and I've always had the same exact response. I don't know where I got it from, but since the moment I can remember, my response was always going to be, why? Sugarcoating gets you nowhere. Your boss isn't going to sugarcoat you when they fire you. That was always my exact response, because that's really how it is. If I'm hiding my feelings to make you feel better, what is that going to do? I'm hurting myself, and I don't fuck with that, so I'm not going to do that. And when I did sugarcoat stuff, I got stuck for a long time because I was like, oh, I don't want to make them feel bad. Or, oh, what about their feelings? Nah, I need to go back to, fuck your feelings. Like, I'll be nicer now, though, like, because I'm with you all the time. I can't be an asshole that much. If I was still mean after all these years of friends with you, there's something truly wrong with me.
I think the day you hit me with your keys and I looked at you like I was about to cry, you're like, I can't be like this no more.
I think that was like 2 weeks into us being friends.
Yeah.
And all of my friends in high school, I don't know why I was like this. I've been like this since I was a child. My mom told me in 3rd grade she saw me, or she was walking up to get me and she saw me tossing a kid across the playground. But she just saw a kid flying and was like, oh, whose kid is that? I hope that, like, their parents figured that out. Come to find out I'm the one throwing the kid. So she's like, Cheyenne, you can't just be mean to everybody. I didn't figure it out until you, like, looked at me with, like, why'd you just hit me? I'm so sorry.
I feel like I have a very, like, I think I have a Puss in Boots, like, sad face.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard. You're like, oh my God, I did that.
But it's because, like, you're so, like, you're very emotional.
Yeah.
So you can turn on the waterworks unintentionally really fast.
Yeah.
So when I hit you with my keys, it wasn't even a hard hit. I was swinging my keys and I was like, oh, let me bop her real quick. And she turned around and was like, I was like, oh, come on, the lip, put it back where it
You're like, all right, this is the last time I do that too.
I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. And I was like, if I hit you, I love you kind of thing. But then I was like, let me stop doing that. Because that sentence alone sounds toxic.
It does.
2, I don't know why I was like that in high school. But I think it's just because as a cheerleader, my friends were falling on me all day. Yeah. And like, they fell on me because they trusted me. So I'm just like, I'm going to hit you around a little bit. You fall on, your entire body lands on me every single day. I think a little tap on the shoulder isn't going to hurt you. Yeah. But once I met you, I was like, let me calm down a little bit. Because I don't know.
It could I soften people up a little bit, just a little
It also could just be like we're from 2 different parts of the like state. Also, I feel like it's just because I've seen the women in my life be like the dominant ones. Like the women in my life are badass.
See, and that's the opposite. Not that the women in my life are bad, but like because for African culture, we're very submissive women. Yeah. Like, you know, we tend to the men.
But like that's because the men take care of you guys.
Exactly. Well, that's true.
My family was like, why am I going to depend on you when I can do it myself? Yeah. And even if I don't want to do it, I'm going to figure out a way for me to get it, and it doesn't rely on somebody else. So that's why I'm so aggressive and like, what do I need you for? I can do it by myself.
That's why I'm just like, oh, do you need this?
like, even if you feel off a little bit, you're like, oh, let me check on Cheyenne. Because I'm feeling off because it's probably her. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, yeah, my bad. Not my fault. I'm just going through it real quick. Yeah. But like,
yeah, even no matter what I'm with, I just feel like I'm always just like giving to people.
Yeah, because even your mom's like that. Yeah. Like, from the second I met her, oh, you've always been like, oh, my mom said hi. My mom said, do you need anything? Or my mom went to Costco, she got this for you. Like, just because we're like, oh, we're going to get it ourselves anyway, your mom just gets it. But that's why you are the way you are.
I'm my mother's daughter.
And I'm my mother's daughter. Like, when I tell you my mom's badass,
she is.
Taking care of 10 kids. She had her own house. She got multiple cars. Like, that's just always what I saw.
It's very interesting seeing us like kind of like turn into our moms.
My mom told me one time, I think I was telling her about you and how she always tells me how our friendship is really good for me because she swore up and down I was never gonna have any black African American friends.
And then you got one from the motherland.
I was like, you kept saying I don't have any black friends. This one, her parents are from Africa.
Literal
immigrants. She's a first generation American, not college student American. But yeah, I had black friends, but like there was only like 20 black kids in my school. Yeah. So like I had what I was handed and I dealt with the cards I had, but I still had black friends. Yeah. She just saw the Mexican ones. I was like, that was more of them. So when I came to college and she was like, oh, you like I met you. Me and Hakaya became friends after I like. She'll be okay with her name being this. Me and her became friends after like I graduated high school. So she was like, oh, college really helped open you up. My mom said me becoming friends with you was good for me, and like I needed someone like you in my 20s because one, I was really mean. I was very closed off. So I wouldn't have had half the experiences I have now because 90% of them are with you.
And it's crazy that she's saying that because she's the one who started our friendship.
Yes.
And she literally,
I never talked to anybody.
She literally like saw me getting off the elevator. I saw her too. I was like, I'll see her around, like whatever. And then she messaged me saying, hey, I just saw you get off the elevator. Like, I'll wait for you. I was like, okay. And then boom, here we are.
Literally from that day, we've never separated.
Yeah, we've talked every day since
Every single day since then. Our streak on Snapchat, we started during COVID, and we snapped every day since then. But like, when you really think about it, from the day I messaged you and said, "Hey, I think I just saw you," we never stopped talking to each other.
That's crazy.
That's wild. But that really showed, like, we were meant for each other.
We really were. That's why I say we're honestly platonic soulmates.
We have to be, because there's no, when I say I never talk to anybody first, one, just because I'm a naturally shy person. Like, everyone always jokes, oh, just because your name is shy doesn't mean you have to be. Hey, a lot of people always say, your name is who you are.
Yeah.
So when you name a kid Honesty, they're going to tell you the brutal truth. I'm shy, so I don't talk to people. Like, I just get really anxious, and like I'm like, I want to talk to them, but what if they don't want to talk to me, or what if they don't want to be my friend, or what if they're just like, I got shit I need to do, move. Like, but that's just because like that's how people have been to me. Or I mean, everyone always wanted to be my friend eventually, but at first they were like, I thought you were a bitch, and usually it was just because of the way I looked. Like, this is my face. I promise I don't have an attitude. I just have an RBF. So when I saw you, I was like, fuck it, I'm in college, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, it's the second day, the first day I slept because I literally drove at 3 o'clock that morning. So I was like, I'm just gonna sleep the first day, second day, I'm grabbing college by the balls and we're going for it. And I saw you, and my first thought was like, okay, I recognize her from that group chat. And then I was like, let me not say anything, because if she saw me, she would have said something, or like, I was like, we're gonna meet up later. So like, we live in the same building, probably gonna see her eventually, and if we hit it off at this bowling thing, maybe me and her will be friends. But then I was like, no, because why? I just saw everybody else walking that way that we were supposed to be meeting. Why not just go walk with her? And I don't like walking by myself. Once again, I'm shy. So I was like, let me just text her, and I was like, hi. Hey. I looked like in my head, I was like, hi, I think I saw you like going up the elevator. And you were like, oh yeah, I think I saw you too. And I was like, yeah, I'll just be like, we can walk together if you want. And you said yes. And I was like, yes. And then I never started a friendship again.
That was it.
That was my cap for 4 years. I'm not even kidding. I made one friend by myself. Like, I start the friendship. And that one friend from high school was Aaliyah. That is my favorite person in the world now. And then I met you, and now you're my favorite person. Hey, the two that I started are lifelong.
See, everyone says I'm for everybody. I'm just friends with everybody.
Bro, they were saying that at fucking Foodie Land. You were like, oh my god, hi. Hi. And I was like, this is how it is when we walk around the mall. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, she's a very... I know, like, you think she's sociable. She's sociable. Like, you look it up in the dictionary, her picture's right there. Because if she knows you, she will say hi. And don't let somebody from this podcast be like, oh my god, is that Ian from Girl and Girl? Oh my god, hi! Do you know the picture? But like, obviously you mean it in like the purest, like, I want you to have the best experience meeting me or seeing me. But like, to your friends, we're like, girl, wrap it up. We get some time, like, the entire time we've been walking around the mall, you've been saying hi to other people. I haven't had a conversation with you. We came to hang out.
Like, it's so funny. I even know people I don't know. I'm just always saying hi to people. And then I was on FaceTime with Ashley one day, and I was just saying hi. She's like, who is this a meet and greet? Who are you saying hi to?
Who are we talking to?
I was like, people are just saying hi to me. She goes, for no reason? You're just saying hi to people?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Or just like, we'll go somewhere. We went to SAC. What was it, 2 years ago for Lost in Rhythm?
Oh yeah,
That was almost 2 years
or like
ago.
a year and a half?
Like a year and a half ago. Because it was in October, It's like a year and a half ago. We're in Sacramento. 2 hours away from where she lives. She doesn't step foot in the city unless it's with me or somebody else. And she saw 3 people at that festival that she knew. One of them was her cousin, so it don't count. Because we see him everywhere. Shout out
No,
to you.
another one. Remember I said, oh, I think that's my cousin up there in the VIP section.
Yeah, but you didn't say hi to that one, so that's why I didn't
Yeah,
remember.
he was too far.
But then there was this one other girl who was like a high school friend, and another one who was like a friend of a friend. And I was like, you don't even know this person. They know someone you know, and you're still talking to them. And then we went to a Burner concert. Again, what were we in Oakland that time?
Yeah, we're waiting for my parents.
Also, like an hour and a half away from her. She sees her god sister or something. And I was like, bro, why the fuck do everywhere we go, you see someone you know? It's not a bad thing, but damn. Like,
I'm for the streets for real.
I've never heard anyone say that about you know. Like, oh, you're just for
I would pray to God no one says that
If
about
someone
me.
said you're from everybody, I'd be like, who's everybody? Jesus?
Jesus.
God? Christ? The Holy Spirit?
disciples.
Herself? Because who is everybody? That's everybody to me, and I'm her best friend. So, if I think that's everybody, no one should be saying anything.
Yeah.
And if they do, call me. I got you. Because you did make me nicer, but you didn't make me nice.
Period.
Period. Oh, I actually did that printed on a t-shirt.
Bye.
My best friend made me nicer, not nice.
It's a good slogan.
Yeah. And then I'm just gonna put your picture in the back. Endorsed by you.
So we have to wrap up our conversation for today.
It was very fun. I definitely think we should all just make sure we focus on that work-life social balance with a healthy mixture of like, I'm a responsible adult with shit to do, and fucking we ball. What's the worst that can happen?
And then being comfortable with asking for help. Trust me, I'm one to talk. I know it's not easy, but hey, we're still young. We're not gonna have everything figured out. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out to people if you feel like you're spiraling.
Definitely. And like, not even we're not gonna have it figured out, we don't have everything figured
We
out.
don't.
Like, even if you're like, oh, they have it all together, we're still trying to figure it out, whether we look put together on the outside or not. Like, everybody, even fucking Bill Gates, I'm pretty sure is trying to figure some shit out. Like, but as long as you ask for help and you find that healthy work-life social balance, you are on your way to growing and glowing with us. Shameless plug.
Stop.
That's my new joke for everything. Shameless plug. Watch my podcast. All right, next week we are going to be talking about love languages. So excited.
That involves words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service,
Quality
Quality
time.
time.
What else? Words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service,
we said physical touch.
physical touch, and then gift giving.
Gift giving, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So we're gonna learn what ours are, and we're gonna be learning how you can apply it not only to your romantic relationships, but to yourself as well. Because you can't expect to receive the love that you want if you can't even give that to yourself.
yes. You have to be the partner you want to yourself first, and then that actual person will come.
Write that down, write that down, write that down!
Also, my tagline for next episode is going to be, if you're questioning everything, would you rather people look at you and be like, why is she single, than why is she with him? And that is why I am single. Anyway.
Fuck, we didn't.
Bye.
Bye.